Almo cum tumidam germine conjugem admirans dubio tangeris anxius afflatus superi flaminis angelus conceptum puerum docet. This is the second stanza in a 17th century poem, which is a prayer to Saint Joseph that is part of evening prayer on March 19th, the feast day of Saint Joseph. It is one long, complex sentence, and in this sentence, I think, the writer displays his artistry with the Latin language. To find the subject of the sentence, we have to go almost to the end. Angelos is the subject. Docet, teaches, is the main verb. The whole first two lines of this stanza are a subordinate clause introduced by cum, when. So when you are being touched, and the you here is Joseph, although his name is not stated, we understand from the context that he is the person being described. When you are being touched, and there are two modifiers of the understood subject, anxious and admirans. When you, Joseph, worried and wondering at your wife, conjugem, who was tumidam, swelling or swollen, with a sprout that is nourishing or perhaps growing. The case of the word germina here is ablative, so it goes with the ablative adjective almo, so we know that the adjective modifies that noun. So when you were worried and you were wondering at your wife swelling with the nourishing seed, in other words, Joseph was wondering why Mary was already pregnant at the time that they were engaged to be married. Touched with doubt, dubio. You were being touched with doubt. So when Joseph was feeling all of this, when he was worried, when he was touched with doubt, when he was wondering why his wife Mary was already pregnant, it was then that the angel, the angelus, docet, the angel teaches. What did the angel teach? The angel teaches that the boy, puerum, here we probably need to understand the word esse to be as implicit in the sentence. The angel teaches that the boy, puerum, in the accusative as the subject of to be, has been conceived, conceptum esse. So the angel teaches that the boy Jesus has been conceived by an afflatu, a blowing, of a superi flaminis, a blowing of a gale or a wind from above. In other words, the angel teaches Joseph that the boy Jesus, the unborn child within Mary's womb, has been conceived by the Holy Spirit. The sentence is constructed, I think, as a kind of word picture, and here we see how Latin can do things that English cannot. We have Joseph, in the middle of the sentence, worried, being touched by doubt and wondering. At the beginning of the sentence, we have Mary carrying the unborn child in her womb, and the way the words interlock, conjugem, tumidam, almo germine, that is called synchesis, or interlocking word order, illustrates through the words how the unborn child is so inextricably bound up with Mary at this point. The unborn child is within her womb, almost part of her. So here we have Mary, and over here we have the angel who teaches Joseph, and both of these verbs, tangeris and docet, are in the present tense. Although the story happened in the past, the present tense pulls us into the story and can make us feel as if we were experiencing these things right along with Joseph as they happen. So we have Joseph in the middle, Mary, his pregnant wife, on one side of the sentence, and the angel on the other side speaking to Joseph, telling him that this child has been conceived by God. This stanza fits nicely with this window found on the south side of the nave. It's the first in the series of windows that wrap around the nave counterclockwise and tell events in the earthly life of Jesus. This is the wedding of Mary and Joseph, illustrated perhaps in a modern Catholic idiom rather than in the style of a first-century Jewish ceremony. But we see the figure in green, meant to symbolize a Jewish temple priest, and the figures of Mary and Joseph before him. In the background, the Romanesque architecture is meant to suggest the temple as the setting of their wedding. So Joseph, heeding the message of the angel, decided not to divorce Mary quietly, but to marry her.